lead the House in the manner you have shown and call out anybody who is errant in their conduct. Thank you. Jared?
I thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. And whereas you have closed that debate, I would want to take a tangent from what both the majority and minority leaders have talked about, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we have lately seen discordant voices, especially emanating from the presidency. And the presidency is composed of the president, the deputy president, the cabinet, and those others in that chain, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, whereas I would be least concerned about what happens in Kenya Kwanza, but when these matters have potential to create disunity in our country, then I will be very much concerned, Honorable Speaker. In Bungoma, where you played a very good host to the most successful Madaraka days ever in this country, I did realize, Honorable Speaker, that 40 minutes later, when the president had sat down, the deputy president showed up. And the president of the Republic of Kenya had to welcome his deputy, which is totally a break from tradition, Honorable Speaker. On Sunday, during an event of the Akorino brothers in Nakuru, the deputy president arrived 1 hour after the president had sat down. And just next to that president was his seat, which was being warmed by the Minister for Water and Irrigation, my friend Zachary Njeru. And when he showed up, he started, castigating the weather. He started castigating his means of transportation and many other things, Honorable Speaker. Yesterday, to my dismay, the deputy president took a commercial flight to Mombasa and was hauling his own bag, getting into the aircraft, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, this House appropriates and budgets for travels of the deputy president, Honorable Speaker. And at no given time have we ever envisaged a situation where he takes a commercial flight. But if he takes solace out of commercial flights, then it is upon and incumbent upon this House to reduce his travels by 95%, because we know what is being charged by commercial flights and the rates that are being charged by chartered flights, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, whereas this government is barely 2 years in office, we have listened to quite disdainful statements emanating from the office of the Deputy President. And I want to ask you, Honorable Speaker, that the majority leader here present to shed more light over these issues, because they touch on us as the consumers of government services, Honorable Speaker. Whereas a lot has already been spoken about regarding sugar and the loans that were offset by the government, Honorable Speaker, just yesterday, in a cabinet meeting, 6 billion shillings owed by coffee farmers was cancelled by the cabinet, Honorable Speaker. And there is no fury about it. But when the same government cancels debts owed by government-owned sugar mills, then it becomes a matter of concern by one particular governor of Nyeri, Honorable Speaker, who has since abrogated himself the role of a spokesperson of somebody else, Honorable Speaker. You know, I've always believed that governors are so busy.
Your point.
I've always believed, Honorable Speaker, that governors are too busy to even indulge in issues holding brief for others, Honorable Speaker. So, Honorable Speaker, these are fundamental, germane, and salient issues that, left unchecked, have the potential to create bigger problems for this country that we all love. So I implore upon my very good friend, Honorable Kimani Ichung'wah, the MP for Kikuyu to shed more light on these matters. Otherwise, if there is a real problem that the deputy president is suffering, that as a house we can help him solve, then this is the right platform. But if he's creating, disunity and playing victim at the same time, so that a particular section of the government would go a different way, and we want to know and call him to order. I thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the...
Yes, member for Kahawa.
Mr. Speaker, Norwaraka. Mr. Speaker, in as much as this is music to my ear, but we are slowly digressing from the business of the House. I have heard names being made here. And Mr. Speaker, you are the biggest advocate of protection that persons must not be named here adversely without a substantive motion. That side has a majority, supermajority, so they say. There is nothing that stops them from dragging that Gachietha here so that they can impeach him. They can impeach him so easily by bringing him here and vote against him. So why should we divert from business of this House and enter into some charade and hypocrisy and politics instead of doing business which is before us? We know what you people are saying. We know the politics you are doing. But we also have our politics. We don't want to turn this place into a political arena. We know that this matter has been choreographed. Who doesn't know that?
Order, Honorable Kajwang. Order. Yes, that is Atandi.
Honorable Speaker, I didn't want to enter into this conversation, but Honorable Speaker, let the truth be said. The governor of Nyeri did not say anything out of this world. The governor of Nyeri was simply saying that there is no equity in sharing of national cake, and that's a fact. That when you look at the budget we have just passed here, so many sections of this country are not receiving projects. And the governor of Nyeri, as a leader elected by Nyeri residents, must fight for the welfare of Nyeri residents. So, Honorable Speaker, I think let us stem this discussion. The national cake is not being shared equitably. Most parts of this country are not receiving resources. And I want to support him. Let us not be a government that preaches unity because it is favoring us. Because if there is chaos, people who are stealing will not steal. You don't steal in chaos. You steal when there is unity. So we don't want this conversation about unity because we need unity and peace so that we can be able to steal in peace. Let us be genuine about unity. If you're talking about unity, let it be about genuine unity. You can't tell me that you are preaching unity here, but there's no development that is coming to my area. You can't tell me you want Kenyans to be united because the preaching you are giving us is for your good. So the Nyeri governor should not be discussed here, Honorable Speaker, unfairly. And I agree with him. The government must ensure equity in sharing of national cake so that all Kenyans can be happy and be peaceful and be united. You cannot be united in statements, in empty statements. Let us be united. Let us have real unity. Real unity is about how many resources, how much money is going to Siaya, vis-a-vis how much money is going to Kiambu. How much money is going to Washington, vis-a-vis how much money is going to Kisumu. That is the unity that I want to hear about, not unity, empty statements about unity. I support the Nyeri governor. Thank you.
Yes, Osoro.